hey, I don't know, tell me. So we can work together on this, because that's what Sunday school is all about. It's about taking those baby steps. In fact, today, like Brother Oder covered last week, we're only covering 3 verses. It may only be 1, but we're only, the entire 45 minutes here to be spent on 3 verses. And three of the most, what I consider the most important verses. And in this chapter, because it's about the light, it's about the light of the eye, the light of the body being the eye, and what Christ meant by this. Because a lot of people misinterpret it. And there have been arguments and battles fought over this very subject. So I'm going to open up in prayer. So bow your heads with me. Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for bringing us together for another week of gaining in wisdom and knowledge, Father, and understanding of your word that you put in our hearts, Father. We ask, Lord, that we can grow in this class, and that the words and the wisdom that you put into our hearts and into our minds today, Lord, that we exercise those outside of this church, outside of the class, Father, as well as in our prayer and our daily walk with Christ. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
So, I'll start with verse 22. We're in chapter 6 of Matthew, verse 20. Starting in verse 22, it is titled The Light. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore your eye be single, your whole body shall be full of light. Verse 23, but if your eye be evil, your whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in you be darkness, how great is that darkness? In verse 24, no man can serve 2 masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. And before I backtrack to verse 22, I'm going to ask you guys a pop quiz question here. Again. see how deep you study. I read the word mammon, and I thought that meant man. I was wrong. I found out what it meant and where the word comes from. Can you tell us where this term comes from, mammon?
I don't know where it comes from, but it refers to money or the things of the world.
Yeah, wealth, riches, whether it be wealth,
material stuff.
Wealth in women-wise, they considered that wealth. The Arabs back in Jesus' time considered, how great you were by how many wives you had in your own harem. So that could also be we can't disregard the flesh, right? And that's a part of the mammon. It's a blanket. It's what I like to call a blanket term, and I've used that terminology before in this class. There are blanket terms that they used back in those days, but they didn't call blanket terms back then. But it's what it means in the moment, what it means in that sentence. They didn't waste a lot of time on words. They wanted meaningful, heartfelt terminology when they spoke, especially when they spoke of God or they spoke of God's word. So mammon, being from the Sumerian. Right? Brother Don, you're my historian here.
Yeah.
Are we right so far?
So far.
Are there any other uses for that word that you think of? Or no?
All right, the word mammon, better written with one M, is a foreign, whose precise derivation cannot certainly be determined, though the most probable one gives it the sense of what one trusts in. See? And it's considered here that it's used for riches and considered as an idol or a master or a god of the heart.
Amen. See how much that covers? Yes, brother.
Yeah, mammon, in my opinion, should be anything that you put before the Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be finances. It can be your yacht.
Right.
I mean, if you treasure that yacht and let you do anything else, that is before the Lord. So whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like I said, the blanket.
Right. It's that blanket terminology. It means so much more When you can say something in one word, or when you say you love your wife, and only you and her know just how far that love goes and how deep it goes. I'm the breadwinner in my house. I know when I tell my wife I love her, she knows I mean that I support her. I work 4 jobs for her. I clean the house for her. I rub all her sore skin for her. I do everything I can to make her happy. When she says she loves me, I know that comes from a much deeper appreciation for my love than anybody else could ever offer. That's why I'm still married to her, and that's why I'm still happy. Because I know I'm being a good steward to God, but even though I'm not flawless, I am faulty. What? But I know. I just found out this morning. It's a big shock.
Oh my God.
I know. I had to hear out there and say, I look like alfalfa from the little raspberries when I woke up this morning. I said, I love you, honey. She said she loved me back. Give me a kiss. I'm like, that will hair. Just like alfalfa. Pointy hair. I need to carry around a little light bulb that I can throw in my head.
There you go.
Like, ooh, epiphany.
Need a few more light bulbs.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. No, but when we go into these terms, saying we love one another, when we come in here, I say, Brother Ron, no matter how much you pay about me, I love you, brother. I really do. And and you understand what that means. That means I love you not just in Christ, but I love you as a friend. I love you because I trust you, and I believe in your walk with Christ. And knowing that, without having to say it all, doesn't become redundant, does it?
No, I can tell Maggie, let's get his pen number.
Yes. I don't have a pen number. My wife has all those.
Forget it, Maggie.
We're out of here. Back to the roll out. 18 wheels. We're back on the road. All right. So we're going to go back to verse 22. We're going to talk about the light of the body is the eye. For Sister Anita, I'm watching her do the body dance back there, so I know she's excited. She's ready to go, but hold you back for a moment.
Huh? I just have notes. I did my own study last night.
Oh, I know. I'm just teasing.
Whatever seems apropos, I will contribute. Otherwise,
All right.
not.
Sister, I'm just teasing you. Because I ain't that way. I just tease you.
I know you are.
All right, so let's see if Jeff and Adam can get back on.
But we're reading verse 22, said the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. If you've ever watched anybody on their deathbed, or just before they pass, if you look in their eyes, you'll see that little light go out. And then it's just maybe just a few minutes, maybe an hour or so, until they've gone.
Right.
And the difference, I've watched several people at that time when they're passing. And a Christian, their light is always brighter. I mean, every time it's brighter. But people that you know for a fact that haven't lived a Christian life and haven't made it right with God, that light is kind of dim all the time.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But it goes out too just before. And I believe when that light goes out, the soul has left the body. It just takes the body a few more minutes to quit.
Amen. So let's see what.
I got some.
Yes. Right.
Sorry. When you can tell the difference in somebody that is on fire for the Lord, and their focus is on Christ, their focus is on sharing the gospel with somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus a person whose eyes is looking at things. I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. I mean, their focus is, man, I gotta have that. I want that. Now, you can see the difference. If your eye is focused on the Lord, right, you see that.
So I see what you're saying is that no matter what's going on around you, whether it be a bar or at your house or at work or whatever, or even in church, some churches are a little rougher than others. No matter where you're at, if your focus is on Christ, then all these things, all these flaming arrows that the devil is shooting at you will just repel off from it.
Right.
As long as you're focused on Christ.
If you have the whole armor of God on, you
Right.
have that shield faith.
So one of my biggest ordeals that I like to preach on when we were doing Proverbs was discernment of the Spirit. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do we call on that? Because we always know when things are just going awry and oh maybe that's not good for me. I mean sometimes it's just plain obvious.
That's right.
We had a few calls last night from some people that got drunk and did some things out in the middle of the street that were just plainly obviously sinful. That got them into trouble. And so, of course, the guys I was working with all thought it was great, and all the jokes started running, and I didn't say a word. I just went back and sat in my ambulance and waited until they needed me. Because I didn't want any part of that. It's like, okay, what's wrong? For one, they're doing something that I want no part of it. I didn't want that thought in my head. But, everybody else thought it was funny. And I won't lie, yeah, some of it I thought was funny, because they were acting around silly, and it was goofy looking, but when it comes down to it, I needed the discernment of the Holy Spirit to tell me, to tickle the back of my neck there, say, hey, this ain't, this is not even worth joking about. And I repented from that. And I just, kept it straight and professional. And we helped them out, we got them covered up, and we got them in the ambulance and took them to the hospital. Yeah, see, I didn't even need to even explain, did I? All I said was cover up, so you already knew what I was talking about. Blanket terms.
I'm from college town, remember? Chico, California, high school, and we've seen everything there.
All right.
Literally.
So,
Crazy place.
got that taken care of, but, discernment. So the light of the body, what I read on from the scholars, particularly Matthew Henry, he starts it off by saying the eye will be evil. To know that the eye is evil, to know that you are only looking outward. An eye, money, cars, anything considered material possession. Even in religion or human nature leads, power uses human nature, leads us to believe that we'll reach God through fancy dress and dramatic spiritual acts. Now, what do I mean by dramatic? I mean, if I were to go to the Whitman Walmart and out there in the parking lot, and I was in my clergy uniform that I wear for hospital visits. And I was out there and just preaching the word and just saying, you don't need this, you need to be in church. When all I would need to do is I would not need to have to be in that particular uniform. I could go out there and just talk to people and say, hey, why aren't you in church? Or, hey, this is the good thing about being in church right now, and, without making such a fuss or a ruckus about it. Showboats. That's the term I should have used actually, but anything that makes you feel that you have to shine brighter than everything else in the room in order to get your point across. Pastor Wyman is very good about not outshining God when he preaches. When he's teaching, even when he's correcting somebody, even when he corrects me. He doesn't outshine the fact that it's God in the room. It's the Lord, it's my duties. He never condemns, but he confronts, and when he confronts with confidence in the Word of God. And that's because his eye is always on Christ. When I do a preaching or when I do a teaching, my eye is always on Christ, or at least it tries to be. That's why I try to make sure that everybody's understanding, and I take baby steps with our lessons, because I want to make sure everybody understands at the same level that I understand, even if you're farther ahead of me intellectually. No, but if you're too far ahead, then you're not going to get what the lesson's about.
Right.
Does that make sense? So I know that there was a passage in the Old Testament that said that if your eye causes you to be evil, then pluck it out. But this does not say that. It says, if therefore your eye be single, your whole body shall be full of light. So he's speaking, he's using edification, what they call edification is uplifting the church, which is what we're called to do. When we're teaching fellow churchgoers, or we're teaching a class or something, or we're teaching a new Christian, we don't just tear them down, we build them up. We show them, if you are not looking at both God and the world, what you want in the world at the same time, then, and you're only thinking of God, then you will be of God, and you will be able to follow, you will see that righteous path that God's put you on. You will understand the Bible better if you're not trying to put the world in it. If you're trying, a lot of people make that mistake. They put the world into the Bible instead of the Bible into the world. They get that mixed up, and everybody gets confused. And they think, oh, we can do all this because God's okay with it. He forgives everybody. So, let's lie, cheat, and steal, and then ask for forgiveness, and it's all good, right? No, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
Well, it's because a lot of people in the world base what they believe their theology to be on what's going on culturally, and cultural relativism, versus saying, well, instead of changing my theology to match my lifestyle, I need to change my lifestyle to match my theology.
Right, exactly. And that's what it is. And it becomes a lifestyle. I'll tell you a little story. When I started doing drugs, it never made sense why drug users and alcoholics and everybody have a certain lifestyle. They're always either in bars, or the drug addicts are always out at night, never out during the day. Never understood that till I started doing it full time, and I started actually selling it and doing all that stuff. But I had my dealer actually came to me and said, well, you see, it's not just a choice, it's a lifestyle. And unfortunately, and this sounds horrible, and I'm not glorifying it one bit, but he actually took me under his wing and showed me how to stay up all night, how to manage to stay up for days at a time. And the trick, I won't say what the trick was because I don't want to influence anybody. But there is a reason why they are able to stay up for weeks at a time and stay up all night and stay away from the daytime and get away with things for so long without getting caught. And then they become, the world's greatest con men for the sake of their drug, which is their God. So why can't we do our things for the sake of our God?
And that's because you focus your eye, or you focus your eye being this light of the body, when you focus your eye, your mind, yourself on, increases.
Right.
So if you are, if you want to learn about fine art, you don't go to the local elementary school and study the kids' art. You go to art museums and you get books and you look at great artists and you look at beautiful compositions and you focus your eye on the good things. Same thing with training. You go to a job, even McDonald's or Ross or whatever, they teach you, quote, best practices. Not sure ever going to attain that perfection, but they want you to see this is our goal, is these good things.
Right.
They say that the people that are trained to spot counterfeit money never look at counterfeits. They study the real thing until they know it, every nuance, every little line and every little thing. They know the real thing, so that if something that isn't real comes in front of them, then you know the difference. So when you focus your eye on anything, that's what you learn, that's what you know, that's what you become. It comes into you. Mm-hmm. So the idea of focusing, if you have a good eye, that means you're looking at good things. The New King James calls it a good eye, the regular King James says a single. So that singleness of purpose, the eye is single, if you have an eye that be single. So what you're focusing on is like one single thing. So for us as Christians, we should be focusing our eye on the Word of God, on the commands of God, to be obedient unto God.
See, and that brings us back over to Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 25. That let thine eye look right on, and let thy eyelids look straight before thee.
Right.
See, let your eyes look directly at the person you're talking to.
That's right.
See? Don't
Sorry, brother.
don't look side to side.
Right. David said it best, I think, in Psalms 37:4. It says, delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. If we delight ourselves, that means if we serve the Lord joyfully, God is going to give us the things that we want, and we don't have to go sailing around. Because God isn't going to, because if we seek God's face first, we aren't going to be seeking things of the world necessarily. You know, but the things that we do want, the Lord will give us. I prayed one time, I said, Lord, please make Matthew fall for it.
Has it happened yet, Sister Maggie?
And just, a year later, we got married.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
so he answered my prayer. But I serve the Lord. I mean, I delight myself in the Lord.
Amen.
You know, there's so many examples of that, you know, where your eyes focus. I used to ride a motorcycle. I would still, this is want me to get another one.
What? They're fun.
I love them, but
You know what you're doing.
Someone here in Phoenix, I think he's, it'd be so much cheaper. But one of the things they teach you, and I've taught people to ride as well, is that when you're going to turn a motorcycle, the very first thing you do is look. You look, press, lead, and you go that way. If you're looking that way and try to turn that way, it doesn't work on a motorcycle. You can't look right and try to turn left.
Right.
Yeah, you'll run into the fence over the freeway.
That'll preach, sister. That'll preach. That's right in line with the Christian walk, I tell you.
Yeah.
If we drive the same way we walk with Christ, we're in trouble.
We'll be out in the ditch somewhere.
Yes, Sister Mackie, go ahead.
Well, it's even like, in a relationship or in a job, if you start looking somewhere, instead of staying where you are and focusing on where you are, if you start to look at something else, pretty soon you're gonna convince yourself of that.
Yeah.
And that's how adultery happens.
Whether it be your spouse or your job or whatever it may be, you have to keep your eyes focused on where you are.
Exactly.
Because if you start looking elsewhere, you're gonna talk yourself out of your position.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
See, now, another thing about this, see, now, this is also talking of the spiritual eye, see? But it's talking of physical eye at the same time. See, that's where a lot of Christians have a hard time, is taking the physical and the spiritual and putting them together and actually understanding what God's trying to tell you. See? Because like there in verse 25 of Proverbs 4, said, let thine eye look right on, see? So some people have problems with their eyes, one eye be turned out, and maybe cross-eyed or something like that, and it's hard for them to look straight on, see?
Right.
But that's not what God's telling them here. He's telling them spiritually, keep your eyes straight up, keep your eyes on Jesus, see?
Right. Amen.
Right. Sure.
So,
Well, this comes, we're not there yet, but Matthew chapter 6, verse 24, we alluded to it at the beginning, you can't serve two masters, God and mammon. If you are looking at that other job over there, you're going to be discontent here. If you're looking at that other, guy, gal, whatever, over here, you're not going to be happy in your marriage. You have to stay focused on what,
Right.
on the thing that you're supposed to be focused on. And so, if you take your eyes off of God, there's everything else to distract you. You have to keep your eyes focused on God.
See, that's where the physical part of it comes in, because, see, men can, there's beautiful women in the world. I don't care how old you are, how young you are. And the women, they have handsome men that they like and all this stuff. See, if you see that person, you see that beautiful woman, I mean, that only have to be a distraction. It's only a distraction if you allow it. to
Right.
take your eyes off of Jesus onto that beautiful person.
Now see, that's why a man, the Bible says that a deacon should be married only to one woman.
That's right.
Because, he can't serve two masters.
That's right. That's right, Ronnie.
That's awesome. Is that why? I thought it was a whole other reason. One second, sir, I just wanted to cover something before we end up running out of time. So, I just want to read off the last of my summary here, and then we can go back to discussion. So such an earthward and selfish gaze of the soul may often issue selfishness as regards to money, etc., but the full meaning of this phrase includes so much more that the whole body shall be full of darkness. What the heart craves to see, it sees, but in this case, not the light makes it the entrance, but darkness, which, as in the case of the light, permeates the frame. So what we mean is that it's what what we're looking at is what we want. If I want Christ, just like you were saying, if we keep our focus in one direction, we'll go that direction. If we turn our head this way, it's our body to the left, our body will go left. If we turn our head to the right, our body will go right. So if we don't keep on that straight road that God puts us on, by going to Sunday school, by doing our daily devotions to God and praying 3 times a day, and asking those questions that we need answered. Brother Oder, I'm sure you have viewers that are new Christians.
Mm-hmm.
They've got their own opinion about what church is and what it's about. We are not only trying to teach the Word of God, we're trying to turn that opinion around, aren't we?
Yep.
We're trying to get people to understand that the world has corrupted people's view.
That's right.
The view of the church has been corrupted. Why? Because dishonesty has been suffered.
That's right.
And now it's being reaped. So we're seeing that, and unfortunately we are seeing that in the great metropolis of Lincoln, Arizona. We're seeing it in Morristown. So many times I hear people say, "Oh, I don't need to be in the building to worship God." Well, that's true. You don't need to be in the building, but how can you keep your focus on God if you're standing in an area where you're surrounded by the world?
That's a good one, brother. I'm gonna have to remember that.
Would you believe that came to me on my own?
Yes, sir.
Because the Holy Spirit told me that one. Told me that last night. That was part of my epiphany this morning. I said, whoa, it's true. I was actually had a lot of trouble sleeping last night. I didn't have a single call after 10 p.m. I slept like a baby.
Oh.
Except I was doing sermons in my sleep. My partner was sleeping next to me in the chair. So he couldn't sleep because I kept on saying, praise God. And I kept,
Well, praise God!
I kept saying, you need to pray. And for some reason my hands were moving because you guys know I got my hands. And I was pointing at him. And my eyes were closed. And I was saying, you need to pray. You need to pray. You need to praise God for you being here. And for the peace of Christ in your heart. And I said that to him. And he just got freaked. He woke me up. He said, he said some choice words. He said, I'm going into my room. So even when he marched off in the room, he got up this morning, he wouldn't look at me. He just kept walking. He had the head down, the backpack on, the bed cap with him. And he said, I'll see you Tuesday. I lost my head sick with him. So. Wow. Yeah, so I'm sure I give him an apology for keeping him awake, but God does come to you.
That's right.
He will talk to you. Yes. He will talk to you in a language that you understand. I understand sermons. I understand scripture in sermon form. So I will have dreams about them. I gotta admit, I have never done that before. And I am a sleep talker. I talk in my sleep. I have never actually done a sermon in my sleep. That's weird. But I was praising God. I said, that's really cool, actually. I thought it was pretty neat. I wasn't even embarrassed. You could think I was embarrassed. I wasn't embarrassed about it. But what happened was that I was so in depth, even out on the field, I was reading my little pocket Bible that I always show you guys. And I was really thinking about the light you know, it just really touched me in areas where, where I knew I failed. Where I stumbled, and I needed that, and I needed that focus, and I think God just gave it to me 3 times full, and it came out. It's like my cup overflowed, it came out in my dreams, and in physical action. But that's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to bring that up because this is what I figured out this morning when I was finishing up my notes. That the whole body will be full of darkness if we allow if we allow the world to come in. I mean, everything looks beautiful. I mean, all that glitters is gold, right? It shouldn't be. It's the Holy Spirit that should be glittering in you.
That's right.
If we want that in, how can we get that in if we're all,
That's it.
We let that world just blanket us, and we don't focus. That's why we need to be in church. So I hope your viewers have something to say, because I'd like to hear responses.
I do too. That's what I encourage them to email me back and comment on whatever video I put up.
Just don't tell them where I live.
Well, I'll tell them this. If they want a one-on-one conference, come and visit us at Whitman Assembly of God
That's
Church,
right.
9:30 a.m. on Sunday morning.
Yeah, that's it. Now, sister, you had something you wanted to say.
I just want to round this out. We talked about the spiritual eye and spiritual things, and Brother Oder pointed out that this is talking about both the physical, the body, what we literally physically look at. We talk about the spiritual and physical. There's kind of an emotional aspect too. Not what we look at physically, but our outlook, if you will, the way we perceive things in life. If I have a negative attitude all the time, that's going to bring a lot of darkness to me. If I like to gossip and run people down, if I make negative assumptions instead of assuming the positive, that's a negativity that I bring in through my eye, if you will, as well. It's an outlook thing, the way we perceive life. So it's really, we're trying being body, soul, and spirit, and so all of those are affected by the way you look at life.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we understand verse 23 where it says, "But if your eye be evil, your whole body shall be full of darkness. So if therefore the light that is in you be darkness, how great is that darkness?" So now we have a full picture of what that means. You got any questions, brother? Or no, you guys follow along? You want anything to add there, Brother Doug?
No, I'll wait here just for a minute till I see what all's going on. Conjure something
All
up.
right, we're on Matthew 6.
Matthew 6 too.
We're at verse 22, 23 right now, getting ready to move on to 24.
Say, I wanted to share something.
Yeah, brother.
The Lord can show us things, when we, our lesson is focusing on the Lord. One time I was doing this, I was working for this guy in California. He was doing this mold or lodge. I was doing the drywall. Well, we got the drywall done when we had to do the fire stop, in the attic. So I got up there and I cut this first sheet and I put it up there and that thing did not fit. And I told the guy, I said, load it up. I said, we can't cut more because if we did that, we'd run out of rock. We'd be in trouble. So I went home and man, I was thinking, how do I get that cut? And I prayed, Lord, please help me figure out how to get this cut. And I went to sleep. And the Lord gave me a dream, and in this dream, I had my tape, and I was getting measured here and here and here, and I cut it, and it fit perfect. And the next morning, I got back to work, and I did that just exactly the way the Lord showed me, and it fit perfect. We cut every sheet perfect. Wow. The Lord shows us things. When we focus ourselves and serve the Lord, He answers our prayers.
He does.
And when we focus on the world, does He not show us the world? He does. He shows us what? The desires of our heart. So we want our desires of our heart to be in Christ, we need to focus on Christ.
Right, exactly.
If we want to do good, we need to not focus on the evil.
Right.
We need to not condemn ourselves and keep beating ourselves up because we fall down every once in a while.
Right.
We need to say, God, give me the strength, help me pick me up, and, let Him be your judge and your jury,
Right.
and let Him hold that burden for you, and you'll be so much lighter, you'll be able to stand up straight and look forward, instead of slump down because you got the world, the entire world resting on your shoulders.
Yeah.
At first when I was reading the verses 22 and 23, they're kind of nestled in between. They're talking about the light and the eye and all that, and the spiritual thing. And I thought, well, how does that tie in with the stuff above, about storing up treasures in heaven, and then the verse 24 about serving God over money? And then it kind of occurred to me that they all really go together, all tie together. If we want to store treasures in heaven, then the way we do that is to focus on God above all else. And when we do that, or to focus on God, we focus our eye on things that are good, like in Philippians where it says, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are good report, if there is any virtue and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. So that's how we do it. We store up treasures in heaven by focusing on God. We focus on God by focusing on what is good and noble and praiseworthy.
Right. See, that goes back with Brother talking about waking up, more or less preaching.
Right.
When God gives you a message, He gives it to you. He don't care whether you're asleep or what you're doing. Because I had surgery, and when I come up out of the anesthetic, I was preaching. The doctor told him to put me back under, so I'd quit preaching. I don't know whether I did or not, but that, when God gives you a message, you gotta get it out. I mean, you can't, or I can't hold it into myself. See, and if that message must have been for them doctors and nurses in that operating room. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing I could figure out for Him giving me that message at that time, because it wasn't a nice message to a sinner, because it would tell them what they're doing wrong and everything else, and tell them they needed Jesus Christ in their life, and that we all need that, regardless of what position we're in, how long we've been saved or anything else. If we haven't even been saved, we need Jesus Christ. And if we're drawing or exhaling our last breath, we still need Jesus Christ. See? And that's the end of Sunday school time.
All right. So, next Sunday, before we let go here and do our prayer, next Sunday, Brother Oder will be taking off from verse 25. If you don't mind, Brother, we'll talk about verse 24, because I do want to cover that at the beginning of the class. I'll let you just take that over, and then we can start on there. I love how Jesus did everything in such a great order. The next teaching is on worry and anxiety. So we go from focusing our sight not only on Christ, but what are we supposed to do with all the world around us? So here we are. We're going to be teaching it now. Why? Because Jesus knows what He's doing. Go figure, right?
That's right.
Jesus is doing the right thing. So we want to do the right thing. So I'll welcome all of you guys back next week. Brother Oder will be teaching on that. It'll be Matthew chapter 6, starting at verse 25.
Yes. Next Sunday will be no breakfast. Okay, get a following week.
All right. So I still want everybody to be here.
Amen. That's right.
I'll tell you what, I will make a pot of coffee.
That sounds good.
All right? That sound good? I might even, maybe I can bring in a box of donuts.
Uh-oh.
That work?
No.
That is up. Yeah, that careful. Okay, so let's go. Dear Father, we thank you, Lord, for this lesson. We thank you for the influence that you have in our lives as long as we walk in the straight path. And even though we walk to the side or we fall to the left or the right, Father, it always does pick us up and get us back online. Sometimes it means just putting someone in our path, and sometimes it's a direct first movement that you put into our own hearts and our own lives, Father. Thank you, Lord, to bring us back together next weekend, Father, to hear your word and to learn more knowledge and gain in wisdom. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Boy, Sunday school lessons are getting better and better and better and better.
I felt some fire there, man. I was gonna start preaching, man. I'm feeling the fire in my belly.